Hello friends, Namaskar dosto. Welcome to Sunday Market and Global Macro Analysis with SD, and I'm SD Shanundu Das. I'm a multi-asset trading and investment specialist. So ये इसका नाम जरूर है संडे एनालिसिस इसलिए बिकॉज इट इज यूजुअली रिलीज कि सब लोग के लिए पब्लिक के लिए ऑन संडे, बट जो मेंबर्स हैं एज ए थैंक यू टू यू आई रिलीज इट फॉर टुडे ऑन सैटरडे ऑन द डे ऑफ द रिकॉर्डिंग, ताकि आपको ज्यादा टाइम मिले डाइजेस्ट करने के लिए, एंड ऑल्सो यू यू हैव एट सम टाइम स्पेशल वीडियो। सो थैंक यू मेंबर्स फॉर ज्वाइनिंग इन। तो ये जो वीडियो है आज का, इसमें हम लोग डिस्कस करें ग्लोबल मैक्रो क्या दिख रहा है, ओवरऑल मार्केट, हाउ वी शुड बी पोजीशन, व्हाट्स लुकिंग आवर इंडियन मार्केट एज वेल। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट ऑफ विथ where we start off is basically what happened last week previous week mein ja rahe hain, and we are to take a look at the 3-star important data. There was not many important events last week globally. One was RBA, this is specific to Australia, Reserve Bank of Australia interest rate decision. It was important for anyone trading Aussie dollar, but not that important for overall global market. Same was Bank of England interest rate decision, that was important for GBP. We covered it live market. We know जो हमारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं फ्रॉम मास्टर क्लास, यू नो दिस, वी हैड अ ब्यूटीफुल मूव। जैसा हम लोग सीखे थे वैसा ही मूव हुआ था इन द जीबीपी। सो ब्रॉडली जो दिखा, बोथ ऑफ सेंट्रल बैंक्स दे डिड नॉट डू मच, इट वाज न्यूट्रल काइंड ऑफ इवेंट, एंड वी एंडेड द week on Saturday with the Chinese inflation data. So now we are going to take a least recent, and we are going to take a look at more of the 2-star event. Let's go back to Monday. Some Fed speakers are there, but nothing significant. First जो data आ रहा है, the unemployment report. Unemployment report is the first major data which will be important in influencing the GBP. अगर unemployment weakens, that will be bearish news for the pound, as लोग expect करेंगे और cut from the central banks. Then we have an important speech coming up, Fed Chair Powell. This will influence the interest rate and the bond market, and finally bond market में जो happening, that will rattle the other market. So this 7:30 p.m. you can mark your calendar. You might want to notice how the market is behaving. So broadly, last जो theme था उसी पे Powell will try to focus. If Powell is saying no, we are not seeing rate hike anymore, very likely cut again repeat, then it will be likely bearish for the interest rates and positive for the bonds. So here we next जो उसके बाद the meeting that is going to come important is the Tuesday. This is the event of the week. यूएस का इन्फ्लेशन डेटा हम लोग लाइव मार्केट में रहेंगे. जो मास्टर क्लास स्टूडेंट्स, वी आर गोइंग टू लर्न अबाउट हाउ डिफरेंट क्लास behave together. So that was the main list of the week. What we have, largely Fed speakers. We have some data coming out of China, the unemployment rate. This will be important for base metals, but the event of the week is on Wednesday. We'll look at euro currency. We'll look at this data also, GDP, employment, and the UK will look at this data, this pound especially. But main event of the week is here, US ka inflation data. So that's how where we are heading this week. So I think Powell will reiterate what he said, and that could be a similar kind of move what we seen after last FOMC meeting. अब जहां पे मैं है, I'm taking a look at last week's global market performance. So equities were not that bad. We had, agar you have been listening to my videos and you are allocated accordingly, you are happy because you have moved money away from where the money is not being made. आप वहां से हटा रहे हो. Let's look at last week's performance in Nifty 500. यहाँ पे पैसा नहीं था. So no point putting the money here जहां पे पैसा है नहीं. Currently what we saw, the growth is in the equities. but just not in India. There was a China was a great comeback. Some of the Chinese stocks, Hong Kong stocks, but we also seen Europe coming back. Let's go to the performance of the last week's performance across different sector. हम लोग already देखे थे, grains are gaining strength, cocoa is now stabilizing a bit within a range. ग्रेन्स में हम लोग कम बैक देखे थे, उसका इंपैक्ट दिख रहा है. राइस इज अप, सोयाबीन ऑयल, व्हीट. सो ग्रेन में जो बॉटम वी कॉट इट अर्ली, दो वी हैड वेरी लेस एवेन्यू कि हम लोग इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं, बट एग्रीकल्चर इट वाज अ कमबैक, वी हैव गॉट इट. इंटरेस्टिंग पार्ट वाज मेटल्स शोन सम स्ट्रेंथ लास्ट वीक, वो हम लोग देखे थे. यू के बाय आप ट्वीट के जरिए भी जाने होंगे और थ्रू माय वीडियो. But at the end of the week, also metals ended the last portion of the game pretty weak, creating a lot of shooting star sort of price formation. And the portion that did not do well is the energy segment. So energy segment में short position, metal and some of the commodities long position along with European equities. This was a terrific ब्यूटिफुल पोर्टफोलियो एलोकेशन जो हम लोग कर चुके हैं वाया एसेट एलोकेशन वीडियो, आप देख सकते हैं. मींस यू कैन, इफ यू वांट, इफ यू आर इंटरेस्टेड, यू कैन कीप अ ट्रैक. सो इसके बाद हम लोग क्या करेंगे, वी आर गोइंग टू टेक अ लुक एट द चार्ट्स. फर्स्ट लेट्स टेक अ लुक एट द इंडिसेस. We are into bullish into US equities, especially S&P, but it's better we reduce rather than Russell, which we tried but did not last breakout, did not work out. Lot of indecisive candles. Could be some form of top, but not sure. It looks bullish still. Overall picture, some of the portion of the US equities are bullish. European stocks have been significantly bullish. Volatility has been steadily going down, so we don't have any major bearish picture nazar nahi aa raha hai, though India is bearish. Overall equity still we have bullish picture, but एक चीज है कि it's not a fully bullish, outright bullish which I call. ये बेहतर ये है कि कंपार्टमेंटल बुलिश, मतलब जगह जगह पे बुलिशनेस है. जैसे निकेई जापान में बुलिशनेस है नहीं. करंटली इट वाज मोर इन द सिंगापुर, हांगकांग, चाइना, यूरोप. US shown strength, but currently European US का जो small mid cap is not showing strength. So we'll have to park our money where the strength is. Next, energy. I'm preferring to keep short towards crude oil. Majority of the energy segment, except the recent up move in natural gas and ethanol, they have been, the upper segment has been bearish, especially the gasoline has been bearish, heating oil has been bearish. And so this is finally weighing on the raw material price. Jo gasoline is the final product. Let's look at the bonds. Bonds have been rising, but now it has been consolidating for the past few days. So nothing much happening in the bond. Soft commodities, cocoa after a big fall consolidating, cotton steadily falling, orange juice sudden spike up, lot of new volatility in orange juice. Coffee broadly neutral. So soft, nothing much. Metal, let's take a look. Gold, silver, they all tried to push higher, did well for the week, but finally ended a bit in the sell-off. So the next week for gold, silver may not be that bullish. We might see some range, whereas the one that is weak, palladium, might see further sell-off. Copper also showed initial strength, but finally could not hold up. So that was the cue key. We can remain bullish, but we have to reduce the aggressive bet. Or grain we have seen early that yes, series have been bullish, majority of the grains. So grains have been strong. Rough rice, whether you look at corn, you look at oats, you look at wheat, and this will add on to the inflation. This is one of the reason I'm not very becoming fundamentally bullish or the FMCG stocks, the FMCG usually do well during the downturns, but with commodities rise, FMCG has a significant increase in cost. So that's a problem. If they cannot pass on to the consumers, then the bottom line is going to get hard, even if they grow. But FMCG has shown some comeback in India, that's for sure. So now what we're going to do, we are going to take a look at some of the individual charts so that we understand, like this is the S&P. It has been bullish. I have been bullish for right now. Now, if I look at Dow, it has broken higher. This is very good news. We had bullish on NASDAQ. Yes, strength or growing. I was worried about these levels. NASDAQs have cleared those levels. If there was a spike, but broadly they have closed above those levels. If I bring on the line chart, you'll be able to visualize. So Russell is the only one that showed some weakness, but after a little bit of stabilization, it can give a comeback. Other than so, North American equities are strong. वहीं पे invested रहना चाहिए. China has been exceptionally strong. You can see the new comeback. ये हम लोग observe किए थे in regular asset allocation and other videos. Then we can see Hong Kong. Hong Kong का ETF का ticker है EWH. So this is the Hong Kong where the money is flowing. Singapore has halted a bit. Singapore, after showing some promise, it has signaled exit from Singapore, but whereas China and Hong Kong still in the firing mode. We had significant bullish momentum going on in Europe. So Europe में हम लोग invested रह सकते थे. Italy, good comeback. Similar, you can see Spain showing strength, though volatility has definitely increased. But best one of the bets were Euro stocks, which is the blue chip index. Then we had bet on Germany, Netherlands, Germany. These were much better bets than Italy and Spain. But broadly, a comeback overall दिखा है. And अगर global stock market देखा जाए, after the initial downturn, it has been firing as well. So the mood has been bullish for equities. The unfortunate part for जो लोग only going for India, it is the time is not right now. टाइम एक अच्छा टाइम आप लोगों के लिए नहीं जा रहा है राइट नाउ. हम लोग जो लोग इंडिया में अगर इन्वेस्ट रहेंगे, so it is not good time to remain invested. Best would be to protect the cash. So what else opportunities I could see in the Indian may the more opportunity it was on the bearish side, but even not in the long term chart, because long term is not that bearish yet. Though it's a bearish signal, the short term it was an opportunity कि आप short करो. But in the long term, if you look at that, the probabilities are still hinting, and also the structure is still above the long term trend line. So preferred trades are still suggested as buy support and buy breakout. That means basically there could be supports, like here it came back from supports. So if you bring on the actual candle, you'll be able to visualize exactly from these levels it is coming back. So it is more of a range, it is not bearish, even if one draws the Dow structure. So this is a sell signal. So selling भारी होते जा रहा है. Buy trade तो फीका हो चुका है buy का probability. So Nifty has been doing not so well. But if you agar position, you have invested, you are positioned well in the market, even with equities, I'll say you are in good gain. For example, though it has gone down, means the market, the stocks, the highlighted charts, my highlighted list to the learners, they have done pretty well. So there will be opportunities. Even the stocks that are doing pretty well, we should keep the quantity more on the lower side. It's really our market is under bearish distribution. So these are not, and that's quite okay because we are heading to a political event election. So if as an investor, as a foreign investor, if I think that's the election coming in, could be volatility, so they are getting out if necessary. So this is not a major downturn has come upon us, but we'll have to understand currently market is in a more struggling mode. So less breakout play, more of a buy support opportunities play, and more entering at the right time will be required during these times. So iske saath saath what we are going to do, we are going to take a look at the commodities. And commodities को देखने के लिए I'll select the commodity setup. And यहाँ पे मुझे opportunities दिखा था. एक बार opportunity failed, then tried, and finally on the final day, candle was showing very much of a promise. So there was a strong selling opportunity. Aluminium was weak. So this trend, which also metals also I saw, it has been selling off. So just say silver, gold was selling off, finding pressure. The metal that was weak already started breaking lower. So if things go okay, then we can expect somewhere a stopover around 226 to 227. And finally, possibly reach out towards 224 to 223 to means 223, 224. These could be areas where I can expect. The stop loss is currently fine if we keep it around 236 or even around the min stop, which is suggested around 234.5. So broadly, metal opportunities, base metals on the downside. Copper was strong, but it was the जो मैं बोल रहा था last time I highlighted in Twitter. Maybe it was not clear. I highlighted that this is the momentum. If it's not strong, it will not be able to turn the long-term momentum, which has turned basically red means bearish के तरफ turn ले रहा है. So the short-term momentum has to be strong to sustain the breakout, which it did not. It created basically a spike. So now we'll have to be very careful. We're not changing the outlook. कि चलो अभी बेच दे रहे हैं. But selling can come. Now we'll have to be aware, be careful, and immediately start reducing the leverage. जो मैं already कर चुका हूँ. Looking at the spike. And more I have. This is now जैसे ही इस तरफ down हुआ, aluminium broke off lower. Now, crude oil was another round of comeback towards the bearish, but let's look at the international crude oil chart. It was a turn towards the bearish, and so, but the minimum stop loss was outside the candle. So this is a risk, a warning, but still, at least some position I would have preferred. So that's why SCO or the crude oil fund was the choice, which gives me 2x leverage rather than higher leverage trying the future. इसका मतलब है leverage management is also those who are doing futures and leverage trading. Leverage management is a game which you should be aware of, means what you are broadly doing. So that's it broadly. This is the outlook. Next week, जो inflation data next week, जैसा मेरा position चल रहा है वैसा ही I think will continue. I don't see any significant major changes. Will depend a bit on the US का inflation. But one focus of mine will be bond. Bonds has not been do well for the past 3-4 days. So it may give us some directional cues after the inflation data. So bonds will definitely remain in my focus. So that's all, my friends. Thank you for watching this video. All the best to you for this next week's trading. So thank you so much for watching. And as usual, happy trading.